I will tell you what happened. I about 16 years ago found out that I had this rare form of eye cancer, and it was an incredibly scary experience. They told me originally that I was going to be blinded. There was some question of whether I would still be around, and it was horrifying. And then I had all these annoying little things, like I had to wear a cowboy hat for 2 years to keep the sun off my face, and you lost hair, and your eye turns bright red from the treatments, and I kept thinking that there was a story there. I ended up getting treated with proton radiotherapy, which was experimental at the time. So I wanted to write a book about it. I thought about writing it as a memoir or as a graphic novel. I even thought about writing it with my comic strip characters that I was doing at the time, because they kind of helped get me through it. And then, unfortunately, my best friend, years later, my best friend's daughter, who was in school, she was diagnosed. And I saw what she went through, and she had some social elements that happened with hers that I hadn't had to deal with as an adult. She had some friends who sort of vanished on her. She had some really mean things said to her, which I just couldn't believe. There was sort of a lack of empathy there that blew my mind. And I had just gotten done doing the Life of Zarf books, and I liked writing from middle school, and I thought, what if I could combine the two and sort of talk about empathy and talk about how important it is to put yourself in someone's shoes. And I think some kids don't realize or make the connection that, they're just like me. That could have happened to me just as easily, and some kids are scared, so they pull away and that sort of. So I wanted to talk about all that. So I started writing it as a middle school book, and again, I started out, it was much more joke heavy, but the question was finding the right tone, because if you're writing a book about a kid who has cancer, the last thing I wanted was anybody to think I was being flippant about that experience. And so I think I wrote and rewrote it about 10 different times, just trying to get the tone right. And I have an amazing agent and editor who helped me tremendously. I couldn't have written this book without them. And after rewrite, it just became, all the humor that was in the book was coming from Ross, the main character. And that was finally my guiding light, was as long as the humor is coming from Ross, it's okay. Because, even when you're going through something really scary, your sense of humor doesn't turn off. I've said before, if your doctor comes in and gives you a horrible diagnosis and then walks out and they have a milk dud stuck to their butt, it's still funny. Even on the worst day of your life, it's still funny. And so that's kind of what I wanted to show. So hopefully I adapted it to the middle school level. Okay.